Good evening and welcome everybody. My name is Carl. I'm a faculty member of the department and I'm also co-director of undergraduate studies. And I'm so very, very pleased to see all of you here, students and their families. It's such a great pleasure to see this great big family and all of our students' families here to help them celebrate this magnificent achievement. Everyone here, all the students here have worked so very, very hard over the past many, many years to achieve their degrees. And I have to tell you, I'm so very proud of each and every one of them. I've seen them work very hard from first year all the way through to the very end. And one of the things that has impressed me so much about all the students in the department is how engaged they are in the department, how much they contribute to the department, the life of the department, and I can't wait to see what wonderful things they will achieve once they go out into the world. And I do hope that each and every one of you will keep in touch with us. If you haven't already, then by tomorrow, we'll invite you to fill in a little graduating survey. And we would love for you to give us some contact information so that we can keep in touch with you over the years to come. To all the parents who are here, I know many of you have traveled very, very far to be here. You can all be very, very proud of what your children have accomplished. So I think we can say congratulations to all the students graduating. And I invite all the graduating students to thank their parents and their families for all the support that they have given over the years, enabling you to be at this point. The slideshow that was showing up until just a few minutes ago showed pictures that students themselves had contributed. They showed little snapshots not only of themselves, but of things that they have done during their years here. So not only have students been really involved in their academics, but they've explored Buffalo and the country. There were pictures from trips that students have taken, social activities that they've been involved in, and it was really great to see this. We didn't actually ask them to submit pictures like that, but they just came naturally, and it was great to see the kinds of friendships and bonds that all the students had forged in their time here. A couple of housekeeping things before we continue on with the program. One is that if you haven't yet gotten to it, or if you want seconds, there is still, the buffet is still open, so please feel free to go up and grab some more. The other thing is that I was walking around and I saw this card on the floor, and I'm thinking that maybe somebody would like it. It's an IHG Rewards Club card, your key to a wonderful stay. So you may not be missing it now, but you may be missing it in a couple of hours. Does that belong to anybody? All right. Well, I will hang on to it. So if you find that you're missing your room key, let me know. And with that, let's see. Okay, with that, I'm going to, it gives me great pleasure to introduce Dr. Chen Chow, who's chair of the CSE department, who's going to do a brief welcome and introduction.
Thank you, Carl. I also want to welcome everyone and congratulate to all of our graduating students. Once again, I know you've heard many congratulations already today. As Carl said, I actually also want to congratulate not only students but also parents and the teachers are here, because with your support that these students are graduating and they are moving on to their career. Now, actually, there are a lot of similarities between parents and a teacher. At least, for those of you, coming from China, you know what I mean, right? We refer to teacher as just part of the family, your fathers, your mothers. I'm sure in Western cultures and other also have that similarity. I mean, parents, give birth to you. Teachers here in school give you knowledge, and what we do really in common, I think, is parents and teachers really care about our students. We only want the best, for you, nothing but the best. Whatever we do, right? Parents may, when you were young, ask you to do chores, to do some work and to get you trained into good habits. And teachers do the same thing. We give you hard work, homework, project, and if you do anything bad, parents and teachers will all punish you. But the idea is to really make sure you grow into a man and woman. So please thank your parents and also teachers. And I also wanted to give special thanks from me, and I also, I hope from the students, to our wonderful staff. They are all behind. It's them. I've heard a lot of actually saying that the staffs are department is a home away from home for you. So our staffs are your moms and dads and uncles and aunts. They are there to help you over the years, right? Every time you have any questions, they were there to help you. And they put together this wonderful events and many more over the years. So thank you. The last group of people I wanted to really thank, I think we should show our gratitude, is our alumni. Many will say they contribute 3 big T's, as in time, talent, and treasure. Right? By that I mean, we have a lot of alumni. They been very successful over the years. They serve on our Department of Industrial Advisory Board. Several of them are here. And of course they give a lot of great advice and support over the years. They also donate to our department. As you can see, every table we have one sign. Those are the sponsors who have paid for the table that made this wonderful free dinner possible. So let's all thank them. I wanted to especially mention actually several of these alumni. Siva, Kuma, Srinivas, and Bob Girardi. They each sponsored the 3 tables, more than $1,000. Dan, who's sitting over there, will be your speaker. He contributed $2,000, so 6 tables in total. So thank you. And in addition, we have Roger, Chaplin, and Mike, each sponsored 1 table. You can look their name up and the pictures on the table. And of course, our alumni over the years have, sponsored many more events than just the dinner, right? Your trips to Grace Hopper, your hackathon, other events. It's all thanks to our donors. All right, so this brings me to another similarity between parents and teachers. Actually, when you are very little, right? So the parents give you support. Hold your hand and teach you how to walk. And here, of course, in the department, our teachers, help you and give you support throughout your career. But when your parents get old, I hope all of those graduate students here can remember to give back, to support your parents, to visit them often. All right. So just like your parents, I hope you can support the department, and whenever it's possible, obviously, come connect with your department, come visit us, come back. There's many ways you can help. For example, when you go to a place, you can establish the connection with the local alumni. Set up a Facebook group or LinkedIn group to link all the alumni around. This not only helps the department, but also helps each other with the alumni network. And also to follow the footsteps and examples set by those generous alumni to contribute to your 3 T's, time and effort and treasure. You can help by joining our Young Alumni Board, or I call it GOLD, which is Graduates of Last Decade. And even if you are still building your career, you can contribute $25 a year, right? So that's or still something. So I hope you will, by doing this, help your fellow students who's going to come to the department next year, year after next year, and the next generation. And only that we can basically build a stronger department. Because, like it or not, UB is going to be always part of your entire life and career. Because everybody will know, you will also be able to proudly say, I graduated from UB, all right? So a stronger department, a stronger UB really is better for you and me. That's our department today. So thank you very much and enjoy the rest of the evening, and congratulations again. Thank you.
So we have a few speakers planned for the evening, and our first speaker will be introduced again.
Well, it's my pleasure to introduce our next speaker, Dan, as the speaker for the evening. Dan, would you like to come up? So Dan graduated from the department in 2005. And he's been a software and internet entrepreneur ever since. He has worked at many places, started with M&T Bank and had startups, and he's been very active in Western New York, started up many groups and helped the New York startup. And one of his recent accomplishments is that he and his partner won the 48 North global competition. 43, sorry, I added 5 to that. 43 North, beating up, tens of thousands of competition, and took home the grand prize of winning $1 million prize. And his company, is called ACU. That really is helping, I guess, the auto dealers to do the auction car. Overall, Dan has been very supportive of the department, and we invited him to the speaker not because he donated $2,000, but we invited him way before that, right? And I would really like to say thank you, Dan, for your support. So.
All right. These are scary photos, so sorry you have to look at that for the next 10 minutes. But thanks for having me. I know everyone's eating. There's an open bar, so I'll try to be as quick as possible. But you know, it's been great. I've been involved with the advisory council for, I don't know, 8 years, maybe something like that, since it started. So it's been great to get involved and to come back and being in industry, trying to bring different changes and different things that I'm looking for with graduates and engineers and things like that. It's great to be able to go and have some influence back. The things when I was in school, you know, that I wish we had done, or the things that I wish students would have. So it's been great to have that opportunity. I'm always in there yelling about different things, being the non-academic, and I actually enjoy that a lot. So they keep letting me come back, so that's always good. So thanks for that. And I have some people who are interns at my company. You guys see them around, so it's been great to give back to UB and really help foster a better connection with the computer science department and industry. So for that, it's great. So there's parents here, and this is going to be interesting because what I wanted to talk about was something that, you know, if I was graduating, what are some of the things that I'd want to hear, and what are the things where I'm at now I wish somebody had told me. So we're going to talk about taking risks and making sure that you're not getting comfortable, and that's really the story around it. And that's really a lot of my career has been making sure that you know. So let's just do a quick survey because everyone's graduating. Who's going to post-grad or back to school now that they've graduated? Just Greg? Okay. I think it's up 1, 2. Okay. Who's going to work for a really large company? Okay. Who's going to work at a startup? All right. Great. So, what you know, as I was going through school and with my parents, you know, a lot of people want you to go down the road where you're going to the most secure type of job, you're going to a large company, and you know, I had gone down that similar path where I was at a very large company, and I was doing work, and it was interesting, but as time went on, I really noticed I was starting to get niched and focused on a single area, and not able to expand and grow my skills, and started getting stale, and I started getting comfortable. And I decided that I was going to go work for this 100-person startup. So it's a little larger startup, and my parents were like, well, what are you doing? You're crazy. Like this is a very secure company, and what are you going to do if it goes under? And it was, I don't know. Like, I guess I'll figure that out. So I went to a company, and I started, and I worked there. And when I went to that company, the opportunities were so much more. The pace was so much faster. I started learning so much more. And as I was there for a while, I started looking around and trying to understand where I could go from there. And I then was talking to a buddy, and he was looking to start a company, and I was like, you know, I think that's where I need to go. I think that's the path, you know, that I need to take to be able to go do better things. And so I went to do that. And my parents were like, "What are you crazy? Like, you're at this good spot. What are you doing?" And I went and did that, and along the way, I started the company, and within 6 months, it had failed. And now I needed to find another job, and I'm going around freelancing, and I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do next. And when I did that, you know, I came across some other people who were looking to start a company, and it got going, and I said, okay, great. You know, I failed at the other one. I'm going to start another one. This is going to be the one that's going to make it. This is going to be the one that gets across the line. And about 10 months in, I realized, okay, this startup was not going to happen. It was not going to make it. It was failing. I was like, okay, another failure. And I reassessed, and I looked, and I had an opportunity to kind of change course and go into investing and helping startups. And I took that, at a big pay cut. And I was doing that for a while and helping companies, and I really wanted to get back into the, you know, starting a company and building a company and coding. And I met towards the end of that time. I met one of my current business partners, and he came to me and he's like, I had this idea for a company, and I said, okay, let's talk about it. And we started going through it, and I said, okay, that's interesting. I can build that. And we got together nights and weekends. I had a 1-year-old at home, a big house, and had to make a decision on what I was going to do. And decided that we were going to start this company, and the company ACV Auctions that we have today, that I'm working on now. And we sold our house. It was my wife's dream house that we had. We sold the house, moved into a smaller house. I quit my job, and we started building this company out. And we built it up, and we started getting investments, we started getting customers, and things started to take off. And the real interesting part looking back is there was a lot of times in my career where I was getting comfortable. Certain situations presented themselves to me that I could have said it's too much risk. It's not worth it. I could have dwelled on the things that could have gone wrong, but instead I tried to take the approach of what if it does work, not what if it doesn't. The odds are it doesn't, but the beauty is that, and especially for engineers out there, there's plenty of opportunity anywhere. So far, here in Buffalo, we've done well. We've raised money for big VCs. We have over 350 people right now, and so it's been a great journey. But to me, it's really a matter of making sure when you're out there that even though you're in a big company or if you're in a very secure situation, that may not be the best thing for your career. Sometimes you got to take steps back to go forward. So that's what I'm here to present to you, and I hope everyone the best of luck. And as they were mentioning, being a part of future generations of students that are coming through, I'm very privileged to be able to sponsor different hackathons, different student groups, and I've worked with a bunch of you, and you've all been great, and it's great to see the enthusiasm in a lot of these different groups and events that have been forming. When I was here, there was a couple of us that were scraggling together some events and some meetups, and we would just buy pizza so people would show up. But the energy and everything that I see now at UB has been awesome, and so it's kind of sad to see some of you leave, but it's really great, and I'm looking forward to the future generations that are coming through, and hopefully you can help carry on and bring back some of that energy, and I think a lot of the foundations that you've built will continue on, and so I'm super excited to be able to keep supporting that. Hopefully in the future, you can do the same, and that's all I have to say, but thanks for having me. Congratulations, everyone, and yeah, thank you.
Thanks so much, Dan. I'll add my word of thanks to Dan. He's been a steadfast supporter of the department, and it's been an inspiration to see him as he has embraced his vision and his dreams and made them happen. And you all can do the same. Maybe not exactly the same way that Dan did, but you all have dreams, take some risks, be ambitious, make them happen. It now gives me great pleasure to introduce Associate Chair Agarwal, who's going to be introducing our first student speaker.
Thanks, Scott, and I'd like to add my congratulations to all of you. It's been fun interacting with you for the last so many years. Even if some of you might not have had that much fun seeing everyone, I had fun having each and every one of you in my course. So thank you for that. Hi, so I'm here to introduce Devashish Agarwal, our undergraduate speaker. I actually have kind of his bio, which if I keep on speaking, I'll probably speak for 10 minutes, so I'll try to keep it short. I'd like to mention that so I was also the director of undergraduate studies before this, and one of the pleasures of having that job was interacting with all of you, and so it was great fun doing that. One of the things that stood out for, by the way, Devashish here, okay, awesome, good, was many students come and say, hey, I'm excited to do stuff, do you have something to do? I'm like, okay, fine, let's do this. And then after a while, everyone gets busy, and then that doesn't happen. Devashish is one of those students who always keeps talking, we do this major task, we come back next day, what can I do next? Right? And it's like, does that, what can I do next? And so it was great having him around. He was a member of the Honors College and served as the president of Honors Student Council for 3 years. He also served as the vice chair of the CSE Student Advisory Board. He organized the first TEDx talk at UB, a bunch of awards, including most recently the SUNY Chancellor's Award for Student Excellence and Excellence in Students Initiative by the Association of College Trustees. So with that, I think you'd rather hear from Devashish than me.
So thank you, Atri, thank you, Dr. Alphonse, thank you, Dr. Chow, for having me here. And I would first like to begin with saying congratulations to all of you. It's been a great journey so far, and I know we've had our trials and tribulations and ups and downs, lots of crying in Davis at night, but we made it. So for that, I would want you to give yourselves a big round of applause, because it's not easy graduating with CS, and it's not easy to make it, so definitely, congratulations. But now that I have the mic in my hand, might as well talk about myself, because why not? So I remember I was 4 years ago, as I was about to board my flight to Buffalo for the very first time, and I went up to my grandfather and I was like terrified. And for those who know me, some of you would know that I'm not the kind of type to get terrified or afraid at any point of time. And when my grandfather asked me that, what's happening, why are you doing this? Eventually I told him that I was afraid of starting from scratch. And he, being a lawyer, does a man of very few words. He goes out to say, what the hell? He's like, you're not afraid of starting from scratch. You're afraid of doing enough. So my next logical question was, what do you mean by enough? And he said that I needed to go out in the world to be able to figure that out for myself. And this has led me to question every single day. Have I done enough? Have I read enough books? Have I met enough people? Have I met enough friends? Enough to look back upon my life and be proud of what I've done. I know, it's pretty ironic for someone to talk about learning enough who can't quote the life of him, who would prefer, who actually did not even have a GitHub account until senior year, and who literally recently negotiated for a C so that the pain could end and I could get out. But hey, today is not about me. It's about all of us sitting here and our trials and tribulations of our times here at CSE. For some, today might be about missing the TA lounge, always filled with clueless freshmen, struggling with if statements and the TAs not even having a place to sit. Or for some, it may be about missing the intense brainstorming sessions at 3 a.m. in Davis. For some, it may be about struggling in algorithms. Sorry, Atri. And for some, like me, it may be about struggling in every class. But it's because of all the experiences that I've had here, my definition of enough has changed a lot from when I was a freshman 4 years ago. When I came here, I always asked myself, what is it about this place that attracts the best of the talent from around the world? What is wrong with these people who are ready to come to minus 20 degree Fahrenheit and still learn and do the best that they can? I realized this last month. I was talking to a bunch of prospective freshmen, And one of the parents came and asked me why they should pick UBCSE over some of the other schools in the region. And while I was thinking how I should phrase my answer in a diplomatically correct way, I realized that for all of us sitting here, enough has never been enough. See, when you agree to a certain definition of enough, you become complicit. For example, if you think you've learned enough, you need not learn more. If you've met enough people, you need not meet enough people. And if you've learned enough, you can stop that. And well, as you all know, we CSE people are the biggest priorities of all on the campus. So I was quick to say that UB is where I found my home. I've seen the department chair organizing town halls to be able to get student input. I've seen professors go out of the way to help students professionally and personally. I've seen the amazing staff deal with our unreasonable crisis calls, and I've seen the enormous outreach we do to promote the students to get involved about tech and science. But in all honesty, all said and done, it's the amazing students that I've met here that actually gave me a sense of belonging. It was here that I met some of the smartest, most charismatic, and most fun-loving students who, by the way, can not only give every smart person on campus a run for their money, but also make an actual impact on the community. Just in case you did not know, we have 4 big departmental affiliated organizations. 3 of them are run by some of the most amazing women in STEM I've ever met. We organize one of the biggest hackathons in the region, like it's no big deal. And yes, if you check our Facebook and Snapchat, well, I'll just leave it at that. We're always having fun, ironically. It is this attitude of not enough that has made us walk to Davis in the middle of the night to score hundreds on an early morning exam. It is this attitude of not enough that ensured that we were able to overcome all obstacles and be here. And it is this attitude of not enough that we need to take with us the rest of our lives. And as I stand here today, taking the last 30 seconds, I want to take this opportunity to tell everyone that as you wake up tomorrow to add another chapter in your amazing journey, just bear in mind that enough is nothing, and coming to that realization is everything. UBCSE class of 2018, congratulations.
Thank you so much, Devashish. We also have a graduate student speaker, and to introduce him, I would like to bring up, where is Jimmy? There we are, okay. Jimmy is also an associate chair in the department, and he's going to introduce the graduate student speaker.
Okay, thank you, Tom. Well, first of all, I want to also say welcome to all the parents and also congratulations to the class of 2018. So it's my pleasure to introduce the graduate speakers, Aosen Wang. Aosen came to our department 4 years ago, so graduate from the same university back in China. And even though I don't know him at that time, he comes to work with my colleague is Wang, and so I keep hearing all these kind of good things about Aosen, and once today I look at it and his brief kind of introduction about this bio kind of I was amazed because he came here only 4 years. Normally this PhD's graduations take about 6 or 7 years, so 4 years is probably the fastest, but if we compare the work he has done, it's really, really amazing, so he come up with a record with a total of 30 papers, including 11 journal papers and 19 conference papers. So to give me kind of a little bit kind of perspective what it means, this means that so his record is comparable to those a lot of these faculties who is at the times of starting to train. That means after being faculties for 5 or 6 years. So he could, with his record, he could get like a tiny profit, like some parents may not know, which means that they can keep continue improve it forever. That means that you kind of have a lifetime kind of positions. So he is kind of achieved that kind of much kind of results. So among this, 30 papers, so he has about one paper which was nominated for, which has won this both best post award and one paper nominated best paper award, and one paper he did win this best paper award. That means so you go to an international conference where there could be thousands of papers submitted from people from everywhere of this world. And he's the ones who won the best papers, so which is very, very difficult to do, and he has done that not only once, it's almost 3 times, okay? And also because of his research excellence, so he has won this CSE, the best graduate research award 2 years ago, which is only gives once or 1 or 2 students every year. So that means that we have lots of talented students in our department. We have in total about near 600 graduate students, and he is one of the best. And after graduations, he will probably join this year's Apple and doing some amazing stuff related to ASID, yeah. So his expertise is on artificial intelligence and also low power architecture, which are these 2 very hot areas. So we are certainly so hope that they seeing come back often. So I'm sure that he will doing extremely well and will be our proud. So with no further ado, I want to so probably listen what Aosen can tell you. Okay.
Thanks so much for the introduction of professorship. Good evening, professors, staff, guests, and all final graduates. I'm also Wang. I'm a PhD student from CSE department. I'm very proud to have this opportunity to speak on behalf of all graduate students. First of all, I would like to congratulate all of the students here, including myself, for finally graduating. Every end will have a new beginning. Today might be the last day for some of us as the students of CSE department. But I believe our learning and growing will actually start from today. 4.5 years ago, when I joined our university, I was excited, but at the same time, a little worried about my new life in the UB. At that time, I'm not sure what I can get from my PhD program. The life in the US is also an unexplored area in my mind. So, not even mention that the cutting edge research, it just sounds like a monster, especially for an international student like me. At the beginning of my PhD study, I feel it's very difficult to communicate with others due to my language issue. And in class, I I didn't really understand the main idea of instructors. Even I attended each lecture on time. Even for the research, for the beginning, I find that the research is much harder than what I have imagined. It's because that I need to learn the most advanced topics, which are not included in our textbook. But this situation slowly changes, and I start adjusting to PhD life on campus. The driving force for my change comes from the CSE professors and staff. They are willing and eager to help and guide the students in the study and the life. I feel really grateful for this. In the meantime, my advisor brought me into the research community, into the research world, step by step. He let me realize that the research is not so difficult once you can set up your interest on it. So above all of this experience give me the confidence to start and explore the meaningful life in our department. After 4.5 years study, I improved my knowledge level, figured out my career path, and made a lot of good friends from different cultures. For sure, I will keep all these precious memories in my heart for lifelong. Finally, congratulations once again, and wish us the best luck for our future ahead. Thank you very much for all the professors and staff in CSE department. Thanks, UB.
Thank you, Aosen. We have some awards to give out. And for this, I'm going to, again, bring up Audrey, who's going to help out. And we have a number of awards. We have some undergraduate awards, and we have some graduate awards. Our students excel in so many different areas. We have a number of different awards. And with that, I will hand it over. We should, well, we can go one by one, or one at a time,
So we started handing out awards to our graduating class seniors, I believe 2 or 3 years ago, just to recognize some of the extraordinary work that you all have done. Of course, all of you did amazingly well when you were here, but wanted to recognize some of you specifically. So I'll just quickly go through the categories. The first one is the Faculty Choice Award. This was actually the brainchild of one of our ex-colleagues, Jeff Challen. And the idea here is this award is voted by CSE faculty to recognize the student that we'll miss most. We'll miss all of you, but some probably a bit more than others. And so there are no specific criteria in the sense of, you know, I don't know, GPA or research or teaching or anything. It's just kind of an award that's nominated by faculty. The next award is the Leadership Award. As Dan mentioned, we have quite a few student organizations, and they don't just run by themselves, even though sometimes it does look they do, but that's because we have excellent student leaders who help out. So the Leadership Award is to recognize that. We've also had great luck in having students who have shown entrepreneurial skills. Again, I bring up Dan. So this award is recognizing effort by students in that area. One of the things that, and the last two categories are probably more of my favorites. I'm biased. I do research for a living, so I obviously think that's the coolest thing ever. And one of the things that I've been seeing grow over the years is undergraduates doing research. And when I think back when I was an undergrad, at your point, I was just, I don't know what I was doing. I was definitely not doing research. I was just hanging out with friends. And the other thing in parallel that we have had is we have had a bunch of excellent undergraduate teaching assistants, or UTAs, who really have been real lifesavers. So actually, before we hand it over, can anyone who has TA'd for a course, could you please stand up so that we can recognize all your efforts? Thank you. I believe even 2 or 3 years back, we probably had a total of maybe 20 or 30 undergraduate TAs. Last academic year, we had over 100. And it works great for all involved. Students feel more comfortable talking to undergraduate TAs. We've had students who've taken the course, TAing it. And of course, Chinmay likes the fact that you guys are cheap too. So, in both of these categories, we'll, as I said, they've been great work both in research and teaching. You don't have the time to recognize all of them individually, so we have 2 each, 2 awards each for undergraduate research and undergraduate teaching. I guess with that, and so the way we are dividing is. All right, so our faculty choice award is Devashish Agarwal. All right. Next award is Leadership Award. It goes to any leadership position that you can think of in the department. Wendy has done it. She's been the co-chair of Santista. She was the chair of the Student Advisory Board. She ran UV Hacking. She ran CSC Kids Day. So we really miss Wendy and Wendy's. I forgot to mention one thing. I'm really psyched to see how many of you actually went to grad school this year. I think the number is really bigger than what I remember. Wendy's going to do her PhD at the University of Urbana-Champaign. All right, so the next award is the Entrepreneurship Award that goes to Matthew Stafford. Matthew's been working with Vanyao to research smartphones in stroke rehabilitation, chronic and this picture is Matthew won the Best Poster Award at the CSC 50 celebration. All right, we are moving to research awards. There are 2 of them. So the first one is Kunbu Chu. Kuru, or Casey as she goes by, is mentored by Wang. And she's had incredible publications, including first author paper in Mobius, which is, that's a paper, if you as a faculty member get a paper and you're like really thrilled and just like put it in bold letters in your CV, and Casey having that as an undergraduate is really a big accomplishment. She's also joining the PhD program at Princeton, starting the fall. The second research award goes to Zuling. Zuling also worked with Wang and research interests include pervasive health embedding sensor systems and mobile computing. She has 3 conferences and 2 journal papers. This summer she'll be going to the UK Cambridge University Scholars Program during the summer. And since she put it in her bio and it says in the picture, she's a big fan of ice cream. Alright, the next, so one of the 2 teaching awards goes to Adish Chuk.
Yeah, Adish!
Computer science and math. He has TA for both Carl and me for 115, which is the intro to programming, and for CSE 331, which is the often mentioned today, the algorithms course. Adish, for those of you who are using, we have this autograder system that Adish helped quite a bit. I don't know if Dave Galmeyer is here today. He's the other main person who helped build that stuff up. And Adish built in a bunch of the stuff that we use today. He took algorithms as a sophomore. Which for me personally was great because I got him to do it for 2 more years as a junior and senior, and he was the head TA for 331. The next teaching award is for Emily Walker. Emily has TA for CSE 115 and 116, which is Intro Programming 1 and 2, as well as CSE 331. It's been great having Emily, as well as all of my TAs for 331. Last fall, there were many times where I was struggling to get things done, and whenever I asked for Emily for help, and she was always there and helped me out, which she was literally a lifesaver for me for the last 4 years. I'd also like to point out that Ashish Tyagi, who won the teaching award last year, is also here today. Alright, I'll hand it back to Carl for the rest of the group.
Okay, thank you. So for the next up we have Graduate Awards, and we have a special guest who is going to hand out the Graduate Awards and to introduce our special guest, Dr. Chow.
It's my great pleasure to have Victor Ball, our surprise VIP. He was not on the original program, but as some of the graduate students know, he is today's commencement speaker. He gave it a great speech, right? What did you say? And so for those of you who missed this introduction, undergraduate students, Victor graduated with a BS in '86 and MS in '88, both from UB's department. And he's been great supporter of the department. And at Microsoft Research, currently he's a distinguished scientist. He has been a director of the wireless mobile department. He's been giving advice to Microsoft leadership, CEOs, Bill Gates, many years ago too, and Satya, this year's on the direction of Microsoft. He's an excellent scientist. He's published tons of paper, has for the 43,000 citations and won all kinds of awards you can think about. He's a fellow of IEEE, ACM, AAAS, those are the highest honor of the professional society. He has founded ACM's many groups, Sig Mobiles, many years ago. So it's a great pleasure to have Victor as someone who's going to give out our Graduate Students Award. So, you want to say a few words?
Sure. First of all, you made me look very old, by the way. And thank you for that remarkable boost of confidence when he asked you how the talk went this morning. So, but I just wanted to do a few things. One, I actually want all the students to acknowledge the teachers and professors who are there. Because, these folks really care. Whether you know this or not, it doesn't matter. It's important that they care, because I was sitting there and I was, Steve was sitting with me, he's also a professor at CSE, and every time we heard, people talk about the students, and by the way, Devashish, where are you? You speak really well, so you're going to go places. That's good. And I was also very impressed with some of the other students that they talked about and the research you've done. And so, the two of us were talking about you, and I forget, somebody's going to Princeton, somebody's going to UIUC, I know another person's going to CMU. This is a testimonial to the fact that this department actually is training you so well that you're ending up in these great institutes and for graduate school. So why don't we all just take a minute and give a round of applause to all your teachers and professors. And I actually would like all the teachers and professors to stand up for a second, and then maybe we'll applaud all of you. That's great. So thank you very much. And like I said, you are. I think it should be said that you will. UB is your home, whether you know it or not now. And I made a comment this morning about what the heck I was doing in Buffalo, but I was smiling, of course, when I said that. But I heard people chuckle on that. But the fact is that you graduated from this department, and you're going to go out there. The world is full of opportunity. The world has got amazing things, and you will discover things, you will invent, you will do things, and you will do well. But at the end of the day, when you look back, you will think very fondly of your life here, especially if you were undergrads and then, of course, grad school and things. And so I think part of your responsibility now, as he said, and I'm sort of echoing his words, is to give back. Give back to the point that if you actually give back in some sense, you yourself are doing yourself a favor, because every point in your life, people will ask you where you went, and if the department is doing really well, then you're going to look good. So keep that in mind. It's actually a network effect. Of course, it's good for the department, but it's actually going to be good for you. Give back, figure out how you can. You don't have to give back in a big way, and I don't even mean financially, but just your intellectual cycles about how you can help the department. That's a good thing. So that's all I wanted to say for now, and I think we'll just do the awards, the amazing awards. I was reading about all of you, and they're very, very impressive. So let's do that.
Great. Well, the first award on the grad is a Faculty Choice Award. Someone who we don't need any introduction anymore, because Jinghui has given enough introduction. So Aosen, it's our pleasure to award Aosen the Faculty Choice Award. Congratulations. Our second award is the Leadership Award. Madam, could you please come up? So those of you who don't know, she's the only one in her family so far who came aboard to study in Buffalo. She was raised in a historical and traditional part of Iran, and she really enjoys to be part of the community. She was a vice president of the CSGSA and then become the president of the CSGSA. And in addition to being a president, vice president, she served as a finance committee on the GSA before, and a volunteer member for the ISSS orientation week for 2 years. She has already received the award in Leadership in Excellence Scholarship in recognition for her support the community in Buffalo. And she has helped with many departmental events, including last year's 50th anniversary, I remember. So, very well deserved award. Last but not least, we have Research Award also actually awarded to 2 graduate students, but one of them cannot be here. And we would like to invite Yufan Zhou come up stage. So Yufan basically was a student of Jinghui, and he, did excellent in the algorithm course, which is notoriously hard. And he has published several papers. There's one top paper in medical image science is called MICA 18 on biomedical imaging. He's working on other papers to send to NIPS. I believe it's already been submitted, right? The NIPS paper are still working on. It's a top conference in AI, and he will hopefully continue his PhD in our department. And as I said, we actually have another award given to Roshan. He is a student of Demetrius. Roshan cannot be here, but we already gave him the award. He's also done excellent in doing research as a graduate student, and he's moving on to Northwestern to do his PhD. So, well, that concludes our graduate award ceremony. So I'll hand back. Thank you. Thank you for doing that. And I wanted to actually acknowledge the work of our grad and undergrad committee. They've done a lot of work to nominate and evaluate these student awards. I know there's many other students who really deserve the recognition. So congratulate to all of the winners, and even though you have not received the award, you've done excellently. So congratulations to you all. Right? No problem. One thing that I must say that is Murat Dimavish, many of you know, as a director of our grad academic committee. Today is Ramadan, so he cannot be here, but he sends his regard and wishes. And I, have to say that we have to learn to be more sensitive to these holy holidays. Last year, when we celebrated the CSE 50th anniversary, we also chose the holy day for Jewish, people. So anyway, I just want to let you know that why Murad is not here, and other faculties actually.
All right. Thank you. And with that, we're actually at the end of the formal part of our program. So now, actually, one last thing. I still have this room key, right? So maybe check your pockets once again if you think you might have a room key that's gone missing. We'll hang on to it. Come and find it if you need it. We have, as you may have noticed, we have a photographer here who is going to be here for a little while longer. So if you want an opportunity to have your picture taken professionally, then go ahead and find her and pose and smile. Congratulations once again to everybody. Thank you all for coming out, and we hope to see you all tomorrow for the ceremony.
Carl has done a wonderful job organizing this event, coming up with all these slides and organizing every little detail. So let's thank Carl. So enjoy your photo ops and networking opportunities, right? And as Carl said, or see all of you undergraduate students who is attending tomorrow's commencement, we'll see you there as well, right? All right. Enjoying the evening.